Here it is, the Athearn Blue Box SDP40 with a 24-volt motor conversion. Alright, this is the final reveal. It's all ready to roll. And we're going to give it a test here. Let's see what we got. Okay, it's DC. Let me, we're going to use one of these guys. Okay. Now this power pack has a little voltage leakage problem, so as soon as I turn it on, we get a little bit of buzzing. That's okay. That's why it's on the test bench. But alright, let's see if she works. Now, I'd have to say that's pretty good. It's quiet. The low speed on these 24-volt motors is low. So I'm going to put this guy right here. Just barely. Oh, what did we do? Lost power. Okay, power back. Alright, so now, let's try that again. Put it 15. Barely moving. As you can see the flywheels turning? This thing can go slow. Since it's 24 volts and our power pack does not reach 24 volts, you will never get the maximum RPMs out of it. And that is a good thing in that you are never going to put a strain on this motor. Oh, God. Alright. There's your typical SDP40 from this age. This is the most difficult locomotive that I know of to keep on the track. But it's been doing good. I've been testing it all over the place. And it's been running pretty good. Okay, let's put the shell on it. Give it a test. This is my test shell. That's why it looks like this. Alright, now you're all familiar with the typical Athearn noisy locomotives. As soon as I put the shell on, it magnifies the sound. And not just a little bit, but a lot. However, for an ancient pre-19, or this would be a early 70s. This is one of the first generations where they used this setup. That's nice and quiet. Let's take a look at what we started with. Alright. I have here on the bench, I believe this is U30C. Let's take a look at the features of what we started with. 1. The gray motor. No flywheels. This is before they had flywheels in here. And here's the old clip setup. That's what we started with. And what we ended up with is we took flywheels, the gray ones, which, in case you don't know, they're not true. They wobble all over the place. In fact, if you look in the one of those ancient articles about flywheels, they say the only flywheels that really make a difference are these ones called time wells, which are really expensive. But I just put them on there because I wanted to see if I could do it. And I did. And it works. This little base, 3D printed. and it has a little PC board on top, and that's what I want to talk about. Now this here, this is out of a lifelike GP30. See, it's got the diodes and stuff on it. I always liked this setup, and I thought this was very advanced for something that this was from, at the latest, early 80s. And this is kind of a good idea. So I have a ton of this. This is copper clad PC board. And I cut it down into these pieces. Okay, so I got 2 copper strips. Something to solder to. What I do is I go from the motor up to the PC board. Then I isolate. The motor is completely isolated from the frame. Then I solder on in the usual way and connect directly to the PC board. Now, if I want to put a DCC decoder in here, put the decoder on top, move these 2 leads to the decoder, and from the decoder down to the PC board. Let's see, no. From the decoder to these 2 leads, power up to the decoder. So it goes PC board with power to the decoder, back to the motor, these 2 leads onto the decoder. That's how it goes. That's how easy it is. And I like that. I like soldered wires. I don't like the little plug and play ones, because when you take them apart, you're putting stress on a part. Now let's take a look. Why this motor? Why 24 volts? I'm going to show you. Here is, was Athearn's basically final blue box motor. Okay? Putting on this nut here. Nothing really. This is a good motor. There ain't nothing wrong with this. Okay? Here's the motor I used. Watch this. See that? That is a rare earth magnet. It has a ton of torque, and it is protected by the fact that it can handle, under normal operating load, 24 volts all the time, which means I'm never going to reach its load capacity. So I'm not gonna have to worry about wearing it out. 24 volts does not mean you need 24 volt system. It means up to 24 volts of normal operation. And I'm only, this power pack puts out like 17, maybe 18 because it's got a leak. Here's another 24 volt motor, not as strong, but it does connect. This one has higher RPMs. These motors here, they're $4 a piece. Now they come from China, and they take like 90 days to get here. So you may have some trouble getting them for a while. Get them off eBay. Anyways, this conversion is a total success, and that's why I love 24 volt motors. And here's another good candidate for doing the same thing. I don't want to spend 30, 40 bucks on a motor in this old thing here that I might experiment on like I did with this. I just don't want to put that kind of money into it, and I don't need to, because this motor, dirt cheap, super reliable, very low draw, excellent for DCC, definitely the way to go. And there are no parts here that I bought other than this $4 motor. That's it. Everything else, I fabricated. I fabricated these. Just make a ton of them at a time. Little bit of wire. I 3D printed a base, and away we go. Good to go. Good success.